So this is Playing the Role, Episode 1, Rolling the Dice. Hello and welcome to Episode 1 of Playing the Role, Rolling the Dice. I'm Roger. This is Bill. Today we're going to talk about dice rolling in RPGs. So rolling the dice is an essential part of all RPGs.
Yeah,
I think, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
Maybe there's a few out there that don't, the diceless systems and stuff.
Yeah, those are
all of that.
That's like acting,
storytelling and stuff systems. But they all have acting.
Well,
you all have to act, right?
We use dice here.
So rolls, yeah, we use dice here. So inherently, rolling the die always inherently has a chance of failure. So we just want to talk about some of the things we do to mitigate that, or alter the dice, or prevent rolling them altogether, right?
Yeah, if you can prevent a roll, that seems better because then you won't fail, right?
Bill is really good at convincing the DM that he doesn't need to roll for.
Yeah, you got to work with your DM.
And
GM, make sure you don't have to roll if you don't have to.
Try and squirrel your way around. What are you saying? That's usually what you do to me.
Work your way around. You want to get a better picture of what's going on, right?
So I guess we'll start with the obvious, which is combat, right? That's where usually we're rolling the most dice.
It's kind of unavoidable rolling.
Right.
You got to roll in.
Yeah, so combat in RPGs, that's one of those things where you end up having to roll the dice, right? Because that's the way the mechanics work and everything else. There's no real way around it. So where do you want to start with that?
So my goal in rolling, or in any situation, is to try and think about what I'm gonna do, and then figure out what the roll is, if any roll. So in combat, you got to roll, but combat is always based. You got to have your cover. You got to, if you can get a flanking position, if you can find a good spot, where you can't be surrounded. That's a good situation to start with. And then there's other stuff if you're low on hit points, get closer to the cleric. Make the cleric's life easier. Do some teamwork stuff.
Yeah, so movement. So you always want to be wary of moving on the battlefield and where you are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And whether or not you make your combat rolls or whatever, you always want to be moving into a better position combat-wise, or a better position to get healing, or so you don't get surrounded, or or try and bottleneck foes even, or something like that.
Or just make it hard for your, if you're standing in the way and you got 3 guys with swords behind you, you just get out of the way. Let those guys get up in there.
Right. Since we're on combat talking about dice rolling, I'd like to say that, and you know how it is in most of my games and stuff like that, but I like to hear people saying what they want their character to do and then rolling the dice, as opposed to, I just attack the guy or whatever.
Right.
I always like to hear, hey, I rush the guy with my axe or whatever, or I try and take his legs out, or something, and then make the roll or something, so that there's some kind of a story element to the whole thing.
Well, that helps you too, because now I know what you're you're going for his legs.
Right.
Right. I know maybe it'd be easier to trip him. Maybe if he's off balance with his feet. Maybe I could go high and trying to chop him through the middle, chop block him.
Right.
Something like that. So that helps the other players too, because then and then the GM might be all right, well, it's a slippery surface. It's easier to knock him on his ass, on his butt. Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the other thing too. When you run combat, you always want to try and gain whatever advantages you can.
Sure.
Trying to get the higher ground, or
that kind of stuff.
Or we mentioned flanking position, but getting to a higher ground, or getting it somehow so that you're on the weak side of your opponent, or just a better position altogether, and maybe get bonuses to the roll.
Yeah, or even if there's range attackers and melee attackers, you want to get up on those melee guys, or take cover. If you can't get to the guys on the ground, the range attackers won't shoot into the fray. So if you're on their guys, they're not going to shoot, right? They're less likely to shoot you.
I don't know. Gino just did that.
But well, if they're real good at it, maybe. But if they're less likely, then they might come at you. Got people raining down arrows on you all the time.
No, she'd hit our cleric all the time.
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid here.
In the back of the head.
That's what we're trying to avoid.
But
so just thinking about what you're gonna do before you make your attack roll. Is essentially
Yeah, and stating it,
what we're
stating
reaching.
it,
and
like
stating
what
it
you're,
with like details.
yeah, details of what you're trying to do instead of just oh, I attack the guy, or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably gonna hit.
That's probably gonna hit. It was a 13. In case you guys can't see that at home, I don't know
a
if
lucky
you guys
13.
can see that, but
We'll have to get like the huge.
we'll have to get
Bam.
the big.
Makes a ton of noise when
So,
we throw it.
yeah, make sure you like this video and
Yeah.
subscribe and stuff so we can get a little bit of income so we can buy a bigger set of
Or
dice.
some better dice. Yeah.
Or better dice for look better on the camera. Right, it's a good plug, right? Get
Yeah,
the-
sure. I mean,
Push
usually you
that-
do it at the
push that
beginning and the
button.
end, but kind of going through the middle with it.
Well, it came up,
Early and often.
We need cash.
Do we need to roll? Do we roll for support?
Roll for support. What do we get?
You guys can't see that.
Oh
but I
boy,
definitely rolled a 1.
that was definitely
So we got a lot
that
of
was
support.
definitely a failure there. So we'll get one subscriber out of this. It'll probably be your mom or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the. Should know what to do.
So that's
That's combat.
so
right?
that's combat, right? Okay.
So the other stuff is like non-combat situations, and that's where like.
Right, that's where you really excel.
I hate to roll dice.
You really excel.
if I don't have to.
Yeah, so there's always a situation with Bill that I noticed where like you have to, we'll come up to something and you say, okay, like we got to figure something out, so we'll have to make like some kind of a knowledge roll or like, or something, or you'll have to make some kind of a luck check or some
Right.
crazy thing where it's like, oh, you got to figure out where to go next, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make this knowledge skill in the library, and
Oh, jeez.
you're like, oh, you rolled a 1,
That's a
like
1.
now you don't know where you gotta go.
We're
You gotta,
not.
like,
We're not
wander
even. These
around.
aren't weighted. We just can't roll.
We just can't roll properly. Yeah, we're just. That's how good we are in real games too.
Also, don't roll bad. That hurt your chances too.
So yeah, don't roll, but try to roll better.
So
That's a good tip. Write that tip down.
yeah,
roll better.
Well.
Roll well.
Roll
Yeah.
well. But
So
like,
yeah. So you're always good at trying to curtail rolling the dice as much as possible.
yeah. Well, it's like you're trying to basically. A lot of people look at their sheet and like these are the things I can do on the sheet, but like as a intelligent being, you can do like basically anything that a normal person can do. And I think people forget that. It sounds kind of stupid to say, but like
Right,
regular
right.
mundane stuff is a thing you can do in a role playing game. So like, I don't know if you're trying to let's say you're trying to get through a locked door. Like there's a number of ways to do it, right? So people are like, well, I'm a thief. I'll try to pick the lock.
Right.
Right. But what if you don't need to pick?
What if you botch that roll? I guess right.
You fail the roll? Do you break the door down? Do
Yeah.
you try to find another way into the room? Do you maybe ask the guy who has the key to open it? Maybe they'll open it. I mean, probably not.
Ask
if
a
you're
guy
trying
for a key.
Well, if you're trying to break in, chances are you're not gonna.
I mean-
they're not gonna grant you entry to the building, but you never know. Maybe you didn't try. Maybe some people, maybe they didn't even try to get the
I'm trying that next
open
time.
the door
I'm
by
trying that
asking the
next time.
owner of said door to open it for them.
That's what I'm going to try next time.
It's
I'm
it's
just
an
going to
option.
ask him and say,
It's-
hey, listen, we're trying to break into your place. Can
Well-
we have the key so we don't ruin the lock?
Listen, we want to go inside your house. Give
Can-
them a reason to
can
let
you
you
let us
in. That's a thing. Like
Yeah.
use your words.
Sure.
And it sounds kind of dumb, but that's the way I
No,
look
it
at
works.
things.
It works.
So
Yeah, and we ran into this recently with like trying to like learn some things and like figure some stuff out. And like,
yeah.
I'm trying to make like knowledge rolls and things like that. Trying to be like the intelligent character, like just being like, oh yeah, I got all my points in knowledge. I'm just gonna roll.
There you go.
And that's a 19.
That's
so
it.
that
John, we
that-
rolled a
that would've
19
did it.
on figure out where to go next. by
Yeah.
the way, so when you watch this video,
When you watch this video, whenever we're
You'll
gonna
know.
go next, I rolled a
you
19.
rolled a 19 plus his bonus. So it says like 27.
So,
28.
but you usually have like this way where you're like, before you roll any dice, you'll ask 5 random NPCs like,
Just ask people who you think might know something about.
hey, what do you think? Do you think we should do this? You
Yeah,
think we
yeah,
should
sure.
Do this thing?
Like going to the bar and asking the bartender something about local knowledge. That's a pretty good start because then you're like that
Right,
guy's gonna know
right.
who knows what, and if he doesn't know something, he's gonna be
he
like,
might know where to go, or
that's
who else
that's
to
like
talk
5 gold pieces well spent right there.
to. And that saves you rolling the die
Sure.
and failing, and then it's a hard no. Like we don't
then
find
you,
out
you
anything,
don't.
right?
This knowledge doesn't exist now.
So it's like, oh, let's ask these random people.
Yeah, I mean that's how I like to do it. But
So
there's a lot of ways to do it, I guess.
yeah, what else is there in?
I mean, even
non-combat stuff.
even like if you're doing you're climbing something, like you're climbing up the side of a building for whatever reason, or
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
think about like asking your GM what the situation is. Like you have a sheer cliff, basically.
Right.
Are there like windowsills? Are there like footholds? Does it have like is it a modern game? Does it have like
Right.
fire escape?
Try and get bonuses.
Make
on it,
your GM like give you some information about it. Like just ask them a few questions like, hey, what kind of building is this?
Right. Right, like unless you're in a rush or something, then
Is
you
there-
can say, hey, I spend a round to look around or whatever,
Sure.
and see if it makes this easier to climb or whatever.
Yeah, or just I mean, like in a modern setting, it's easy. There's like fire escapes, like gutters. You can maybe climb. I don't know. That's probably hard to do in real life.
I don't know about fire escapes. I don't know that's
Well, if there's windows, you can reach. You know, if you can
Right,
scale,
right,
like,
right,
what kind of
right,
what
pull
difficulty
yourself
are
up,
we
sure.
looking for here?
sure.
Is there a nearby building that you could actually just get to the top and then just like maybe
Oh, that's
go
a good one.
across?
and then
You know what
try
I
and make that 10 feet jump or
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah, or
Okay.
I mean, just lay a rope taut.
I mean, or that.
You know, get your 10-foot pole out.
Yeah,
Make sure it's secured
Yeah.
on both ends. That's probably not a good idea, but
pole vault over.
if you're thinking about that stuff, then you're on the right track. I think.
Right. So I guess that's the moral here or whatever. Right, is like always look for the bonus. Like always try and
always look
try
for
and get the advantage or whatever.
path of
over
least
things,
resistance toward your goal.
Yeah.
That would be my
Yeah, definitely.
that'd be my thing, I guess. So
Yeah, definitely.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So what else do we have on here?
Okay.
Rolls inherently.
That's all I got.
Oh.
On my notes, I already read all that.
So that's like
So
we're done.
I don't know. Is there anything else that we got to cover?
With rolling. I mean,
Rolling the dice.
if you can't make the roll and you have to make the roll, you can find somebody to help you or that's good at it. Like maybe hire someone.
Right,
Or-
hire somebody to like
you
help
know,
you
like, another
caulk the boat
member-
and ford the river.
Yeah, like another member of the party
Right.
may not be nearby, but hey, you know what? They'd be really good at this. Or, you know, maybe just come up with somebody that can do
Right.
it for you. Just, you know, how would you as a person, not as a character, do this? Not how would your character do this?
Right,
'Cause
right.
chances are, if you at the table, you as a person can do it, then your
Yeah, then your
superhero
character can do it,
can
sure.
do it. You know what
Sure.
I mean? So
Sure, whether it, no matter what it is, sure. Especially if it's something simple as just looking around or talking to
I
someone.
mean, I
or
always
whatever.
thought like, well, I'm not that smart, so if I can think of it, then 13 intelligence can think of it. You know.
Right, right. I think I've got at least a 13 intelligence.
I don't know. I'm not. Probably don't. I have this goofy hat on, so what are you gonna do?
And all of this, what when we talk about this stuff, most of what we talk about in reference is to systems that use a D20 for the most part. But I mean, they can be applied to any system
Anything
where you're
that
rolling a
has
dice
rules, yeah.
or anything like that has some kind of a random factor to it, and you get bonuses to or whatever. I guess even most of it would work with like a diceless system.
Conceptually, I mean, avoiding rolls doesn't work, but the process of avoiding rolls
Right,
should
the
work.
process of trying to get help or look for
Sure.
bonuses on things will always improve
Yeah,
your
chances.
abilities and stuff or chances you had to get.
I think
something.
it makes the game more fun because then the GM has to come up with like more information and you get a better picture of what's going on. So
Yeah.
to me, it makes the
Yeah.
game more interesting because you
definitely.
get a better idea of what is in the GM's head. It goes into your picture, mind's eye of what you're looking at too.
Yeah.
So
You've always been good at that, like getting
I guess
like the
I mean,
picture of
I'm not
of
good
what,
at
like
it.
what's I got going on in my head or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta understand what the GM is trying to tell you as best you can.
I guess that takes a bit sometimes. I'm sometimes weird, I guess, right? So,
Yeah.
all right. So I guess is that all we got? Is that
That's all we got.
it? Is that a wrap?
This is gonna be
So
the
I
end
guess-
of episode 1.
I guess this is the end of episode 1
no pod racers in this one too.
of
which is way
playing the
better.
role, and of course it's playing the role, ROLE, like role playing, right?
Yeah, and not roll.
And not rolling the dice, right? So that's, but we wanted to talk about rolling the dice because that's the obvious thing to talk about.
Sure.
So and then we'll go from here with other episodes and stuff. If you guys have any ideas or wants on any kind of topics or whatever, please let us know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. We're kind of new to this, so we're still trying to figure this out, but we'll probably, hopefully, get better at it. I don't know.
We're gonna
definitely get better.
Avoid rolling too much, and then maybe think about what we're doing.
Yeah, maybe we should, use our own advice, take our own advice, and
probably
like maybe ask someone else who's
that's
done this
a good thing too. Like taking your own advice is usually shut up and do it yourself, man.
Yeah. So, but we wanted to throw this out there because we feel we can, help out. I guess we see it. I don't want to say done wrong, but
like I said, it's more fun. I think,
right.
The way
Right. Well, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, that are just, oh, I swing my sword, or whatever, and that's it. And they're not getting into the full experience. Yeah, the whole role playing experience. Sure. So we're doing these videos to hopefully help with that stuff. So
okay.
So again, please like, share, subscribe, comments. I guess good or bad, whatever. Tell us we're a couple of fools, and just make sure you tell us why.
Couple of jumbo.
And that's it. That's it.
Yep.
So, thanks, guys.
Deuces.